Well, hello and welcome
Look at that beautiful piece.
to my tutorial on how to wrap a cracked piece of bamboo like this one in the photo. It's a temporary wrap, so it will come off after repair. But your basic tools are going to be this pole in front of me. You want to tie off to something round. And you're going to be using a spool of twine that's really strong. This is a 2mm. It's a cheap twine that I can use a lot of. And don't forget your knife to cut it with. You gotta have that on you at all times, because you're going to be holding a lot of tension. I'm trying to show you here. You know, you tie it off to the pole. Way down at the bottom you can't really see, but the best way is to do a square knot, and then when you're done with the square knot tying it off, do another square knot and then do a slip knot. And the slip knot actually prevents any slip through from the pulling tension. So after you've got your line all knotted up on the post or pole, or I also use a doorknob, but this is outside, you get a lot of room to run. Make sure your twine is good. I'm leaning back here, and I actually know it's good, but it's just an example. You know, I have some other twine that only holds under 50 pounds of pressure and then it snaps. You want something stronger than that. This one will basically hold me up. You know, I'm 150 pounds, 165 on a good day. Anyways, this is a temporary wrap. It's for a repair, so we're going to use some glue here. Use a normal wood glue because it takes a long time for it to set. And in that 15 minutes, 30-minute cure time before it starts drying, the twine that I'm rolling out here, see I'm stepping back from the post, that's me rolling out twine. We're going about 50 feet back. And again, this is the piece of bamboo. Forgot my knife. This is the piece of bamboo where there's a crack all the way down the whole line. So I think we're going to look at that. In a second. Here, after I got my length, I'm about 50 feet back. I cut it off the spool, and I'm also gonna cut, after I cut myself free of the spool, I'm also gonna cut a little what's called or referred to as a pull through, and this is a really important piece to this whole system. Cut a line that's about 2 feet long. See, I'm measuring it out there, and cut it off. And then you have a little loop. You see it on the table. That's a really important tool too, just as important as a knife. That piece right there is going to allow you to set the line as it's taut. The line will be taut, wrapped around this bamboo, and you'll set it with that loop in your knife. Your knife will cut you free. Okay. So, anyways, here I'm going to be filling the crack actually with glue, and I know it's not. This wouldn't be a regular technique. I don't recommend filling cracks of bamboo with glue unless you're going to wrap it, because what the wrapping does, like a boa constrictor, you know, it constricts in and it tightens
glue.
The edges of this crack together as it contracts. So I'll show you how to secure a line. Remember, we've already put it secured onto the post there. We've drawn it back 50 feet, so now we're going to secure it onto the bamboo after I get this glue in this crack. We want to make sure it's touching every surface area of that entire crack. It is a cold day outside, and it's the morning here. You know, see I have my glove on my right hand so it doesn't freeze. But you know, that glue's really stuck in the nozzle. So took the nozzle off, and I'm just gonna do it without the nozzle. You know, first I thought I could get the thing out. Nah, forget about getting the thing out. So yeah, I gotta fill the rest of that crack there. And when you're using a big, that's a glass of water and a rag. When you're using a big amount of glue like this, you're gonna want to clean some of it up. So make sure you get your cleanup supplies handy. I'll see here, I'm trying to wipe it in so it actually gets into that crack there. The crack's all the way open, so it should be going completely through. What I'm noticing as I'm swiping it is the glue is starting to set up already. So I better get to wrapping this piece. It takes about, let's see, 15 to 30 minutes for it to get semi-solid. You want some time for it to be setting with the wraps on it, the binding, before that happens. Better hurry up. So I cleaned off the excess with my rag and water, and now I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna take the bamboo and I'm gonna put this line over the top here. You see me put it over the top and hold it with my thumb. I'm gonna hold it with my thumb while I get the line around the bamboo over the top once. And then reset it, you see, and then I'm going to twist the bamboo around, so now the line goes around twice. Make sure I'm holding that tail end all the time so it doesn't slip. And then I'm going to twist it around again and get that line around the bamboo a third time. Sorry, the camera's off. Because this part is where the struggle begins. And you know, you gotta realize this is an extreme workout. This repair is not for the faint of heart. You might, with such a large piece like this, you know, want to get. You can do this easily with a smaller piece of bamboo. The 6 foot long, 2-inch diameter bamboo stock is pretty heavy. It's got a lot of leverage when you're holding it off to one end and trying to twist it like this. See me twisting? I'm going to twist this all the way back up to the pole. But just to set the line, I get it around 10 times while pulling back. That's the thing. You got to have a grounded really grounded footing, you know, every step forward you're pulling back. So you're keeping this tension on the line. You can see the line is very taut. And every time I get extra footing, I'll pull back a little. So I'm holding a certain posture under tension for a long period of time here. You can see I've only gotten around 10 times on the set, and now I'm starting to close up this crack by running it down 1 time every 2 inches. And I'm going to go across a whole segment. I'm going to go across this node and into the center of the next segment. And this activity, you can see that glue is squeezing out. You didn't see it before, but now you can see it popping out. That's awesome. You're going to get it all over yourself and all over the bamboo. It's okay to clean it up later. Halfway down the segment, I'm going to lock it by going around 2 times straight forward and then heading back the other direction the way I came. Sorry about the shaky camera. It's attached to my chest in my overall pocket. But it's a good shot. It's a good shot. So anyways, see how rough and tough this is? Again, this is a extreme workout. It's like planking. If you really want to, you know, go get a really good workout, I seriously recommend, you know, making instruments. It's strenuous, multi-levels. Anyways, you can see this crack is closing up here, and every time I turn it around to where the crack's facing the camera, you can see the glue is squeezing out a little bit more, and the crack is recentering itself. It's realigning itself because of the lubrication from the glue as it constricts back to where it naturally wants to go. So it closes up airtight. Remember, this is a 1/4 inch. So even if there's a millimeter gap or so in the face, that's a 1/4 inch of surface area down there. So it's going to be closed at the bottom. And anyways, that's what the glue is for, because this is not a binding that you're going to leave on the flute the entire time. You know, as it goes out into the world, this is one that gets removed so that you can work the flute, and then you'll bind it again. Because the truth of the matter is, like concrete, all bamboo is bound to crack. It just cures out and it will crack. So you know, if you're a maker with bamboo, you're used to binding. You're used to, you know, you have some method for this. This is my method. I learned it from my teacher. She said it's a fisherman's knot. It makes sense. You do this with fishing poles, you know, the bamboo ones, the fly rods. They always have wrappings on it. And the thing about the bamboo fiber is that it doesn't end. It goes through the whole entire stalk from length to length. It's not like a tree. They're a couple inches, you know. So if you can wrap them up and get them from splitting, keep them from splitting with these wraps, then theoretically they shouldn't snap, even under high tension. So that's the theory. We're going to wrap this crack up really good because it was actually a prime piece of bamboo out of the load. Not really the best piece, which I'm really happy about what I got. It's super fantastic, exciting to work with it. This is just one that was a larger diameter that I look forward to working with. Probably use as a model, an experiment, you know, and I'll use it as a model to copy on one of the nicer pieces. You can see I'm not even halfway through. I'm halfway through that, and you can hear me huffing and puffing by now. I think I'm taking off my jacket because it's too much. I've taken off my scarf. I'm overheating. So yeah, 3 feet of this activity. Whew. I already want it to be over, but once you start something like this, you can't stop. So that's like what I was saying before, you know, with a long piece like this, it's better to have someone with you. They could hold the other end, and even so, once you get it to the center like this, and I can pick it up and actually balance it, because it's centered, the line's centered, it's still heavy and my forearms are already tired. So it's, you know, you have someone else around on a big piece like this who also knows how to do it. You can trade off with them, go back and forth. I'm getting so tired, it's becoming hard for me to hold the piece, so I'm going to do this technique where you lay one end on the ground and pull back. Watch, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to start. That was just a rest. Needed a rest. Because this is a big piece of bamboo. Okay, just understand that. I haven't even gotten halfway through the line. Almost. Rest time. You can see the glue popping out every time you rest. You can lean back like this, and it creates a little more tension on that crack. And closing it up is more and more popping it out. So what I do is I go down a ways past the next segment, like I was saying before, tie it back up, and then go back, and I come back, and just go down the whole way like that. Every segment, going back to the last one, and then coming back. So you're actually getting 3 of these ties. Finally getting to the end here, and the crack is setting off. I'm not really worried about it too much because it's only after the last segment. I could easily cut that end piece off if it looks horrible and not worry about it. But we're not sure how I'm going to use this piece of bamboo yet. So I'm just going to tie it off on the end. Here, I'm going to go back to my last segment. And this is where, you know, your knife and your pull through line, you can see it in my mouth there, is going to come in really handy. Make sure you have that on you the whole time. Because at this point, there's no way for you to run back and get it. If you let go of that line, the whole flute is going to unwrap. It's just going to spring out with all of its tension. And then you have to do it all over again. And what is this? 15 minutes of working out? And how often can you do the same workout for 15 minutes over and over again? I think at this point even my hands are tired, my fingers are probably shaking. Grabbing so tight. Also the glue has made everything slippery. I'm wiping through that. There you can see it. See it still bubbling out, just like it should be. Just like that. So here's my last, it's the 3rd one, right? The 3rd pass over this section. And I'm going to wrap it real tight just before the end. give it another 10 runs, but this time it's not going to be wrapping on its own. This time we're going to use the pull through, so watch this. This is the important part. Still on that line, right? I'm setting it at where I want to cut it off, get my pull through out, and make sure you set it in the direction that you're wrapping. You want to be going one direction or the other, so I'm going to be going back, so that would be the wrong way. The way I'm putting it now. So if you put it the other way, so I can go back. And honestly, at this point, I mean, it's not to look pretty, you know, and I'm so tired, I just want to get this over with. So I'm going to just do my best to make it functionally work, you know, use even more effort to get more pressure on that line to tie this last little cut off, tail end off. It could have been colder out here, by the way. Just benefit of the doubt. 50, probably more like 45. So there you can see my pull through is stuck underneath my final wraps. I'm not going to go all the way to the pole because I've already gotten to the end of this bamboo. So I'm just going to tie it off here. 10 wraps over this pull through. And when I finally get to 10 wraps, I'm going to cut the line while holding the tension of the line on the bamboo side with my thumb. I'm going to cut the other end, but holding that tension. See how my thumb is, set my thumb there solid so the tension doesn't leave the bamboo side. Cut my line and then put that tail end through the pull through loop that we wrapped over, and then pull the tails of the pull through, and that tail end line goes through its previous 10 wraps. So that's how you get the line underneath the wrapping. That's with that pull through. Very important. Anyways, that's the fisherman's knot. Applied for flute making repair, bamboo. Trying to get that crack to set better. Again, it's just the end segment, but if you did have a wrapping kind of set off like this and you wanted it to get set back, you want to do it after your final wrapping here, after it's got tension on it, and then go ahead and get soft blunt object with some leverage, like a stick, and just tap on the high end, and it'll reset itself. You'll see the glue bubble up as it gets tighter. See, that string's holding a lot of tension on it, and so it will still constrict as it finds room to. As the bamboo fibers get back to their natural position and previous position, it will set up. So there you go. I'm going to go wipe it off for all the glue I spread all over this thing. Some water in a rag, and investigate our fix. See how well it actually works. After you clean it up again, you can see the details of what you actually did. But that wrap will stay on there for about 24 hours. And then we can take it off, and the glue should set the fibers back together if they're set right, and it looks like they're set right. stronger than the existing bonds of the natural fibers. Want to finish, wrap it later with some like real nice looking binding when their flutes are done, but for now that's a fix. Let it set, and we got a piece that we can work with later. Horrible shot. See, that crack is closed up. So that's how you do a temporary binding. So you get the crack closed. Look, it only took 30 minutes, and saved a nice looking piece of bamboo that wants to be a flute.